Hey guys, welcome to Link Skillz. I'm your host Jaeger, and this is the LR Cell Saga video. Man, the community has been going through a roller coaster with all the information that has been coming through for the 300 celebration. And now that the cards are finally here, we can just sit down and take a look at what was officially released and how these cards are going to play. So without further ado, let's get started with Cell. So as always with any brand new category, this leader has Ki plus 4, attack and HP at 150% and defense 170%. More and more cards are starting to get the Ki plus 4 leader stat, so definitely keep an eye on these cards, and these probably be higher priority than the Ki plus 3. So unless they start dishing out more 177 or 200% cards, these are the cards that you're probably going to want to summon for. Now Cell starts off okay. His attack and defense boost is only 80%, but he is going to get an additional 80% defense depending on your health. The more you have, the stronger a defender he is. And this card also thrives on having additional enemies on the field. He's going to get Ki plus 1 and attack plus 20% for each enemy on the field. So those two passives alone, this card is really good for the Super Battle Road. And to me, his supers are saying the same thing. His Ki plus 12 is taking the defense of the enemy minus 80% for 3 turns. That's a debuff I really like to see in Super Battle Road. And also, because there is no turn restriction on his transformation, once you get below 30%, he's going to transform into his perfect cell form, regain that HP back to 100%, and he's going to get even stronger. His base passive is Ki plus 4 and attack and defense plus 120%. That's 40% more attack and defense and additional 4 Ki than from his base form. And the more Ki spheres you collect, the stronger he gets. If you can collect any 4 Ki spheres on the board, you're going to get an additional attack and defense plus 20%. If you collect 6, he's going to stack an additional 20% attack and defense. Until up to 8, you're only going to get an additional 20% attack. So that's a grand total of 180% attack, 160% defense, and 4 Ki. Now he still gets to keep his 12 Ki super of giving the target's defense minus 80%, but his 18 Ki has changed, and instead of him getting plus 50% super attack multiplier for 1 turn, now he's just going to do more debuffing to the target, and this time it's going to be attack and defense minus 20%. I'm a little bummed out about that. I wish it was a bit stronger, but nevertheless, if I can collect at least 4 or 6 Ki spheres each time he comes out, the 160% attack and defense is definitely worth it. Alright, but enough about him being a really good card by himself in the Super Battle Road event. He is a new leader category, so let's see the cards that are on that team. And as you can see, it's a really fleshed out group. You do have good options of balance cards and defense cards, and you have a plethora of offensive cards to choose from. The only downfall is really there's not that many support cards that work well with this team, unless of course you have the right color combinations for Cell, Tien, Vegeta, Tech, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Agility, Super Vegeta, and Saiyan Armor Goku. Otherwise, you're stuck with the new Sun Duo card, that is a Goku's Family support card. Or you're stuck with the new Kisser 18 card, and that's going to be for androids. Now if you're running LR Cell, you can't use the Tech Cell because they share the same name. Otherwise, I threw Support Cooler on here because he does get Cell's second leader stat, which I forgot to mention is Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense plus 120%. But overall, this is a complete brand new category. There's a lot of new cards that have come out for the 300 million celebration. There's a lot of cards coming from Japan to the global side, and the more cards come in, the better this is going to get. At the time of this recording, I do not have the information for the EZA Strength Super Saiyan 2 Gohan out just yet, and it's also rumored that there's going to be a really good card coming in the second part of the 300 million celebration, so I'll cover those cards later whenever I make my next team build video, the Kamehameha team build. For now, let's just take a look at what we have here and see what cards link with who to make this the best team we can make them. So like I mentioned, there's not many support cards that you can work into this team build, so I just did the top 10 link leaders and their link partners, along with their best linking support card. Now you're seeing some of the cards are changing because there's transformations all over this team. And that changes who their best link partners are, either based on their links got changed or their names got changed, and you can't use the same name cards. But luckily that physical LR Cell is still the best linking partner for the new LR Cell Saga card. And then you can see LR Gohan there. I linked him up with his Super Saiyan 2 partners, but whenever he changes to Super Saiyan 2 himself, I gave him some other options. So granted, there is that complication of having a lot of same name cards in this team, but you do have a lot of variety with all the characters that you can put on this team. It's not just Cell and Gohan, it's also Trunks, it's Vegeta, it's Piccolo, even Krillin, Tien, Mecha Frieza, and King Cold are on here. So now the bigger question is how to make this team work as a whole unit. Before we start, I will admit that it was a little bit of a roller coaster figuring this out, but once I got the groove on, I was starting to see the synergy. So let's go ahead and get started how I always start, putting the leader card, LR Cell Saga, in both rotations as the link leader. Now as I mentioned before, his best linking partner is the physical LR Cell, so let's go ahead and put him into the mix. Now as far as his second partner, you can choose one of his perfect cell cards, the strength, the tech, or the int, but I'm gonna leave it on the int for now, and I'm gonna explain why a little later. Now here's where it got a little rocky for me. Because there's not that many support cards, I was having a hard time figuring out how to fill the floaters. So you just gotta have to find the best you can, and make it more of a theme deck than it is your best linked team. So the only exception I have for this setup so far is Kisser18. She is a support card, and she's going to give all allies a Ki +2 in attack and defense plus 18%. But if they're all androids, they're going to get an additional attack and defense plus 18. She also has a passive, if all of her allies are androids, she's going to get an attack and defense plus 17% for each one up until 54%. So with just her card alone, she's going to get a grand total of Ki +2 in attack and defense plus 80%. Again, she's not going to link well with Cell, but she's at least supporting them while they're supporting her. Now the next card again is not a very good link partner, but he will play off the cells that are in the rotation. So whenever the Cell Juniors come into play, they will have that rotation ally in Cell so they can get that additional 1 super attack. And as far as the final floater, there wasn't really a whole lot of choices left for me to put onto this style, but I put the third floater on this team as LR First Form Cell. Alright, so here's what I was trying to accomplish with at least this team. I tried to make it as much cells as possible, also in a way where if you're putting this into an event and you want him to transform into his perfect cell, EZA Incel isn't going to do any HP recovery, at least until 30% or below. And as long as you can get LR First Form Cell and Physical LR Cell to do their ultimate super attacks, they won't do any HP recovery either. Then after that point, after he is transformed, you can take EZA Cell out of the mix and put him into a floater, switch him with LR First Form Cell, and then continue the fight from there. But if you feel like you're not going to get this card to transform at all because it's a 170% leader stat on defense, and you have all of these cards that have a chance of doing HP recovery and you just can't make the 18 key work on every single card, then go ahead and feel free, take EZA Int Cell out of the mix, and maybe put EZA Tech Cell in, and then whenever you need health, just do 12 key supers. But that was my attempt at an all-cell. If you really want to make this an all-cell team, Then you can make the second rotation with LR first form cell and support second form cell. Then your floaters are going to be one of the LR Cell Saga cards, Cell Junior, and one of your EZA Perfect cells. Now the next team build that I'm going to try to make is a little disheartening. While there is absolutely nothing wrong with the new Gohan card, he has a lot of requirements that he needs to do in order for him to transform. Good news though, he does have a good linking partner, 2 of them actually. You can either choose the Strength Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. They're going to share links of Ki +3, attack plus 25% plus an extra 700. If he super attacks, he's going to get an additional 2500 attack, and he's going to give all enemy defense minus 2000. If Strength 2 Han's EZA isn't good, your other option is the LR2 Han. They're just going to be a little different in linking, which is going to be Ki +2, attack plus 25%, and super attack an additional 7500 attack. But in order for this card to transform, or at least his optimal transformation, he's going to need 16. Oh dang, I forgot to mention this. If any of you guys are wondering why the Tech 16 isn't on here, let me just pull him up. As you can see, he is not part of the Android's Cell Saga category. And the reason why is because he is a Dragon Ball FighterZ card. He belongs from that universe. So as of right now, on the Cell Saga category, you have 2 options. Super Strike 16. I know, right? Why am I even mentioning that? Or the brand new Int 16. Now what's great about this new Int 16 card is he is going to help Gohan transform, but Gohan is also going to help him support the team. If 16 and Gohan are on the same rotation, he is going to get an additional 100% defense to himself, and then he's going to give all allies Ki +3 and attack plus 50%. And then whenever Gohan does transform, he needs to have a Super Saiyan Goku on the team as his rotation ally in order for him to get an additional 59% attack whenever he does an ultimate super attack. Now currently there's not that many options to choose from for a Super Saiyan Goku, but if I had my choice, I would pick Yardrat Goku. So then all you would have to do from there is switch out the LR2 Han and put him as a floater because he can no longer link with a same name Gohan, and Goku will take his place, so anytime you do have to do an ultimate super attack, he is there ready to give that additional 59% attack. But that's probably going to be the most obvious team set that everyone will probably build. So from this point forward, these are more of theme style decks that I made. They do link relatively well just from the link sets, but whenever it comes to the floaters, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But nevertheless, here's one theme that I made, where it's basically the Briefs team. You've got LR Super Saiyan Teen Trunks, you've got LR Future Saga Trunks, you've got LR Super Saiyan Vegeta, you've got Int Super Vegeta, and then you've got the brand new card, what I'm calling the Briefs Duo. So obviously LR Cell Saga is going to be pushed as the 2 floaters to fill up the rest of this team. And then the next team build that I made is a slight variation of the Briefs team, in which I'm calling this one Perfect Timing. This is basically the part of the saga where Vegeta decides to let Cell go into his perfect form. So you've got Int Super Vegeta there, you've got the Briefs Duo there, you've got Cell whenever he's in his first form, his second form, and then his perfect form as the floaters. And then I couldn't really decide what I wanted to put as the final floater, so I just put Int Super Trunks on there just to follow with the iconic moment in the saga. And then the last theme-styled team that I made is the Z Fighters. I was actually surprised that both Battlefield Krillin and the Namekian lead Piccolo link pretty well. They share 3 link skills with each other to a total of Ki +2 and attack plus 25%. And those two are basically defensive style cards. Their super attacks have the infinity defense effect. And Krillin is able to work well as a link partner because he gets 4 ki if he's the first attacker. And as for the second rotation set, I just kind of put Kamehameha Gohan on there with Int Super Vegeta. They do share ki +3, attack +25%, and enemy defense -2000. And then I threw Future Lead Gohan on there because he does link well with Piccolo, with Gohan, and Int Super Vegeta. But again, if you're wanting Gohan to transform, you can always throw Yardrat Goku into this mix. Now that's all for the Android Cell Saga team builds, but I did want to throw one more team build on there, just in case you're having a hard time with Cell as the lead and getting him to transform. You can put him on an Artificial Life Forms team, because that HP attack and defense is 130%, so it's much weaker. And that team was built to take hits so they could transform. So if you saw my last video where I was talking about the Artificial Life Forms, I had Baby, Metal Cooler, Turles, and Arms on that team. So now you can actually put LR Cell Saga on this team, and I just threw the Cell Juniors on there because they do work with the Artificial Life Forms by getting an additional 10% attack for each Artificial Life Form on the team. And if they're allied with Cell, they are going to get that additional super attack. So again, just as a reminder, Turles will have an opportunity to transform at 80% HP, Cooler will transform at 50% HP, Baby will transform at 40% HP, and then Cell is going to transform at 30% HP. And whenever he transforms, he recovers 100% HP. So there you go, there's my video showcasing LR Cell Saga and the Android Cell Saga team, and a little update to Artificial Life Forms. So here they are again, the 6 teams that I decided to highlight in this video. And if you happen to find this video useful, please hit that like button for me. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell whenever you do see another video coming. If you'd like to talk to me or like to talk about the cards that were in this video, please leave your comment below, or head to Twitter and follow me with my handle @LinkSkillz, and I'll be sure to reply back to you as soon as possible. And be on the lookout for my Kamehameha team build video, where I will go over all the cards available after Part 2 has been released. With that, I'm your host Jaeger, signing out. What's this? New device? Huh. Okay. Wait. My scouter can record my game screen? Oh. I gotta make a call. Hey, buddy. You wanna do a collab?